How's my belly look?
I was coming in, I was like, get as much as you can out before the door shuts.
Yes, sir!
Okay.
Time to go to work, boys.
Yeah, this lock's over, by the way.
Time to go to work, boys.
In January, when we received the schedule from the ACC conference, you have to be very proactive, and then there's some bid processes that we work throughout the spring in order to secure our charter aircraft and buses and all the things necessary to travel.
So typically, my responsibilities as the head equipment manager involves coordinating with all the support units. You're talking about coaches' video, athletic training, nutrition, strength and conditioning. They all have items that have to get to a road game, and I guess typically that's me kind of coordinating when those items are going to get loaded on the truck, what we need to have, when is it going to be at the hotel, what it's going to go to the stadium.
On the road with football, our main responsibility is filming the game and making sure our coaches and players have all technology needs they need to have the luxury of home on the road.
Our team, when we travel, is to provide as much health care as possible and try to be ready for anything that may go on the road. So we'll have a plan, keeping everybody up to date on what's going on with the overall medical aspect of the entire team.
Our goal that week is to keep the guys as hydrated, as fueled as possible, kind of just getting, topping off their tank essentially until game day. The biggest thing for them is that it's convenient. Literally when you get on and off that airplane, like you're hit with something, something high in protein, fruit for vitamins and minerals, different things, just because it's not only just the fuel, but the micronutrients that they're putting into their body as well, just to help that recovery process as much as possible before game day.
Usually a couple weeks in advance, I will start my conversations with the airlines, the bus companies, the hotel, the catering operations, to make sure that they understand what our schedule is and how it's going to change in our anticipated travel party. That will change all the way up right until the day we travel.
So I'll generally send an itinerary out to them on Monday. We're going to leave, Thursday by noon is our time. Like that truck needs to be rolling at noon by Thursday.
It's important that we have constant communication as we kind of land that planning and get ready to go.
So I would be the first boot on the ground to make sure that we're all still in contact and still in context for what we're trying to achieve from a travel perspective. Talk with the hotels, the bus drivers, those kinds of things. Make sure we're all prepared when the team finally gets there.
They'll go to the hotel Friday morning. Like I said, Trey will get there. There'll be some items that we have to offload for the hotel. Whether it's trunks, some office equipment, nutrition, the training room. They have trunks that they set up their old training room in the hotel. Isaiah is the point person for that. So he will get that unloaded. As soon as that's done, that's usually around 8 or 8:30. At that point, Trey and Isaiah and the other student manager will go straight to the stadium. And then they're there. They unpack everything. So typically back here, myself and the other student managers, we're packing the player bags. So Isaiah has the coach's locker room. Everything's set up just like it's a home game. Like you want the players and the coaches to walk in like it's familiar surroundings. This is my locker. This is who I'm next to. So we try to do everything the same for every road game.
One thing I think we do is we stay in really, really top-notch hotels. So hopefully I don't have a whole lot of things to do when I get there. Going back and forth on what meeting room is going to be for what position and how we're going to lay those out. The keys, how they are actually alphabetized and divided, and how many tables that might require. And when somebody walks in, there should be absolutely very little inconvenience. Going to the elevator and making sure that they have a host personnel there to make sure the elevators are on express. For the video crew to get into all the banquet spaces, when they show up, it's a blitz for everybody, and you scatter like bees, but everyone has a job, and it looks a little bit chaotic, but it's really just, it's just a needle point of everybody doing their own tapestry. So.
Next camera down.
So when we get to the hotel, our primary job is to set up a functioning athletic training room that guys can come in and continue their treatment throughout what they've been getting that week, whether it's recovery, whether it's actual modalities, whether it's a rehab area. We'll set up a chiropractor station. We'll set up a small doctor's corner, so in case guys need to see the doctor for something else that's going on, and just figure out guys that way. If they need that extra we'll have that available for them.
I think the biggest thing about fueling them is that there's no spot where there isn't food available for them to make sure that they're fueling and hydrating. So we hit them everywhere when it comes to nutrition. The second they get to the hotel, they have dinner, and then right after that, they have a nighttime snack. And the biggest thing for them is that it's convenient. You know, at the end of the day, if they had to walk down the hall and get something, they may not, but if it's right there like it always is, then they're more likely to take it, they're more likely to be fueled, they're more likely to be where they need to be come game day. So.
The last thing that we do is when I arrive with the players on the plane, we take the equipment, jerseys if we have them, sometimes we have some last minute alterations or whatnot, and then we go to the stadium and lay everything out, and that's the final thing prior to the game.
So our goal is to have the head coach with a laptop and both coordinators with a laptop or iPad to watch film from the stadium to the airport. And then as soon as we arrive at the airport, our goal is to distribute iPads and laptops to all GAs, analysts, position coaches so they can get working on inputting data and all that kind of stuff.
Our goal as an equipment staff is to have that locker room clean and that truck packed 45 minutes after the team come in. Whether it's a victory or the team had a tough game, but we've still got to get our job done and get the equipment back so we can get ready to go on Sunday. So again, 45 minutes, we get in and out, and then Trey hits the road, and it's a straight shot back to Tallahassee from wherever we're at.
Our primary goal whenever we travel is that everything runs smoothly and we're never a distraction. We want everything to go as planned, and that way we stay in routine. And routine is big in football. But at the same time, while we are providing routine, we want them to enjoy the experience, and that's at the forefront of our mind.
Part of being an equipment manager, a good equipment manager, is you provide a distraction-free environment. You don't want to get recognized. That's like if you're getting recognized most of the time, it's probably not going too well.
On the road, it's pretty much be consistent. Like let the kids know that we're here for them. Like we're not here to sugarcoat anything. We want to give the most aggressive approach to keep them on the field, but in a safe manner. It's a contact sport. You're not going to feel 100%, but at the same time, let them know that we have their back.
The investment that Florida State makes in our overall player experience is probably demonstrated no better than the way we travel. The brands that we're associated with are of the elite level, right? There's not going to be anyone that travels better.
There are a lot of moving parts with travel. Obviously, we truck our equipment in advance, with a semi. There are so many moving parts with equipment and getting our stuff there. Our advance team going up to make sure that when we land, everything is the way we expect it. People here on the ground and getting us out of Tallahassee with the police or the bus or TSA screening and just making sure that everything goes smoothly. So there are a lot of people that are involved, and we couldn't do it without the whole team.